Welcome to this presentation on a conjecture about prime detecting quasi-modular forms. This research was conducted by Ben Kane et al. And published in 2025. Today, we'll explore the key findings and contributions of this important work. Let's begin by understanding the problem this research addresses. Good morning, everyone. Today, we delve into the fascinating realm of quasi-modular forms and their connection to prime number detection. Our work addresses a significant theoretical gap in the classification of these forms. Building on prior research by Craig, Van Ittersum, and Ono, who investigated weighted partition generating functions whose Fourier coefficients vanish precisely when the index is a prime number, they defined a specific subset of quasi-modular forms exhibiting this prime detecting property. While they successfully classified the intersection of this set with quasi-modular Eisenstein series, a crucial conjecture remained that every prime detecting quasi-modular form must, in fact, be an Eisenstein series. Our research directly tackles this hypothesis, aiming to provide a definitive proof. Our baseline assumptions include the standard definitions of modular and quasi-modular forms, their Fourier expansions, and the established properties of Eisenstein series and cusp forms within the graded ring of quasi-modular forms. Our methodological approach hinges on a fundamental distinction in the behavior of Fourier coefficients for quasi-modular Eisenstein series versus quasi-modular cusp forms, specifically when considering indices that are prime numbers. For an Eisenstein series, we demonstrate that its prime-indexed Fourier coefficients can be expressed as a polynomial in the prime number itself. This algebraic structure implies that for sufficiently large primes, these coefficients will eventually settle on a consistent sign, or consistently be zero, exhibiting at most a finite number of sign changes. In stark contrast, for non-zero quasi-modular cusp forms, our framework leverages advanced analytic number theory techniques, including the Ramanujan bound for Hecke eigenforms and results from Rankin-Selberg theory. The core of this analysis involves comparing the growth rates of the sum of prime-indexed Fourier coefficients with the sum of the squares of their absolute values. This comparison rigorously establishes that non-zero quasi-modular cusp forms must exhibit infinitely many sign changes in their prime-indexed Fourier coefficients, a property not shared by Eisenstein series. Our findings are encapsulated in two critical lemmas and the main theorem. First, lemma 3.1 rigorously proves that for any non-zero quasi-modular cusp form, the sequence of its Fourier coefficients, indexed by primes, exhibits infinitely many sign changes. This result is derived from a detailed analysis of the growth and cancellation properties of these coefficients, demonstrating a significant statistical divergence from constant behavior. Conversely, lemma 4.1 establishes that for any quasi-modular Eisenstein series, its prime-indexed Fourier coefficients display at most a finite number of sign changes. Beyond a certain prime, their sign remains constant or they are consistently zero. The culmination of these distinct behaviors is our main result, Theorem 1.1. which unequivocally proves the conjecture. The set of prime-detecting quasi-modular forms is precisely the set of quasi-modular Eisenstein series that also detect primes. Furthermore, Theorem 1.3 provides a practical consequence, showing that for an Eisenstein series, determining if it vanishes at all primes only requires checking its coefficients at a finite specific number of primes, directly related to the maximum degree of the polynomial governing its coefficients. Our proof of the Craig, Van Ittersum, and Ono conjecture provides a complete classification of prime-detecting quasi-modular forms, thereby solidifying our understanding within this specific domain. This work highlights a profound structural difference between quasi-modular Eisenstein series and quasi-modular cusp forms, not just in their algebraic definitions, but in the analytic behavior of their Fourier coefficients when restricted to prime indices. The contrasting patterns of sign changes, infinite for cusp forms versus finite for Eisenstein series, emerge as a powerful diagnostic tool. This method offers a novel perspective on distinguishing these fundamental classes of forms. Rather than challenging existing models, our findings complete a significant theoretical classification, providing definitive answers to a long-standing question. Looking to the future, this methodology opens up exciting new avenues for research. The paper itself suggests exploring whether this approach can be generalized to detect other infinite subsets of natural numbers beyond just the primes. This could lead to a broader theory of set-detecting modular forms. In conclusion, our research offers a definitive proof of the Craig, Van Ittersum, and Ono conjecture, establishing that any quasi-modular form whose Fourier coefficients vanish precisely at prime indices must belong to the space of quasi-modular Eisenstein series. This core contribution provides a complete classification for these intriguing prime detecting forms. The elegance of our proof lies in demonstrating a fundamental analytic distinction. The infinitely many sign changes observed in the prime indexed Fourier coefficients of non-zero quasi-modular cusp forms a behavior entirely absent in their Eisenstein series counterparts. This robust methodology paves the way for several high-level future research directions. Firstly, we aim to investigate the detection of primes within specific arithmetic progressions, applying our sign change framework to these more constrained sets. Secondly, we plan to explore whether this method can be extended to classify quasi-modular forms that detect other infinite subsets of natural numbers, moving beyond just primes. Finally, understanding the implications of this precise classification for related areas, such as the theory of weighted partitions and their generating functions, remains a compelling area for further study.